But I actually think the Helheim bird is someone else, Loki's daughter.
Looks like you have some required reading to do.
How's it going, everyone? So normally this isn't something I do. I haven't exactly did a debunk video before, but there's a first time for everything, right? So there's been theories for the PS4 game God of War, or God of War 4. A lot of theories, good ones and some way off the mark. One of the things I noticed was the questions about the bird in Helheim. One day I've been watching God of War 2 cutscenes and I randomly remembered the bird. So I decided to look into Norse mythology to see if there's anything about Helheim and a bird, and what was the first thing I got? God of War. Now, before I reveal the identity, let's watch a video by Captain Kuba. He made, I do believe, 2 about the bird. I've seen his videos before, but he was honestly way off. I decided it's time to set the record straight, but first, let's check out his video and see where he was wrong, and I reveal the truth afterwards.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Captain Cuba here, and today we have some new development on the Helheim bird. In a recent tweet, Cory Barlog confirmed the bird was originally planned as a boss fight for the Helheim level. Someone by the name of Jao Silva said, "I wish we had fought this when we went to Helheim." To which Cory Barlog replied by saying, "That was the original plan, but there was simply not enough time or resources for a full-on fight." So there you guys have it, official confirmation about the original plan for the Helheim bird. This is something I talked about 2 years ago in a rather crappy video, but at least I got that part right. And I have to say that I'm somewhat sad the team didn't have enough time to create this fight. If there's something I missed from God of War 3 was its huge boss fights like Poseidon and Kronos. Sure, there was a dragon boss fight in the mountain, but there's something special about taking down a whole giant that Herschler could never capture. And the future boss fight with the bird seems very unlikely, as she's seen helping Kratos and Atreus get out of Helheim in God of War 4.
Now, this was the first mistake. One thing I do know about this bird is that, for one, it's neutral. It doesn't really have any role or any reason to get itself involved. It just sees another being, and it's not really doing anything to it, so it has no reason to get itself involved. Why? Well, you're just gonna have to find out at the end of the video.
Meaning that she'll be an ally in the next game as well.
Okay, now I think this next one is obvious. I mean, just because it didn't try to kill you doesn't mean it's an ally. It's just a bystander. So just because someone looks at you and doesn't talk to you doesn't mean they're your friend.
But who exactly is the Helheim bird? Most people think the bird is Herschelberg, the Jotun, a giant bird that signals the start of Ragnarok by blowing on a horn. This is something I used to believe as well, but I actually think the Helheim bird is someone else, Loki's daughter.
Okay, now this was the biggest error. First of all, Hel used to be the original name of the realm of the dead, and now means the goddess of death. And Hel was even used when Freya was talking to Kratos. Said Hel. Even the subtitles, H-E-L, the same spelling for her name. And it's still known as Helheim. So that also tells me that Hel may not be seen. I could be wrong, because God of War Ragnarok still hasn't come out yet, but it's still wrong. Hel was not a giant bird. She was a normal woman, but her body was pretty much half a skeleton. And she pretty much just rules the realm of the dead. And there's nothing about anything in Norse mythology about her being a giant bird. I don't see why she would be a giant bird. Not to mention, Atreus was still a kid. He is a boy, and he's sick right now, so I don't see how in any way he would have a child already. I mean, yes, she's one of the 3, and Jormungandr is one of Loki's children. But there's an explanation with Jormungandr. He just got punched back in time. But what's the explanation for Hel? Did he just have a kid, and since the time is different, he said, "Oh, you're in charge of Hel now. By the way, my father's going to come here to get a heart from a guardian, so don't do anything, because if you do, I will not exist, and neither will you." So he has pale skin, red tattoo, and he'll have a head dangling above his right ass cheek. So just don't do anything. Just continue, by all means. Continue your explanation in your theory.
Hel. And yes, I know that in Norse mythology, Hel does not have the appearance of a bird, but you can't deny that out of Loki's 3 children, Hel looks the weirdest. First Loki had a giant snake, then a giant wolf, and lastly, a normal sized woman who has half of her body looking like a zombie. Why not make her a giant animal as well?
Yeah, by all means, why not? Let's add a third animal. Let's just throw that little piece of mythology out. I know we already pretty much changed all the mythology already, but how about we just change this character altogether? Let's not make it any accurate whatsoever. There's already 2 animals, and it's weird that he would have just a normal human that is half zombie. So why not? Let's make her a giant freaking bird.
Maybe a bird? Taking liberties with mythological characters is something Santa Monica Studios does a lot, and is honestly one of the reasons their games stand out from the crowd of other games that borrow from mythology. Another reason I believe the Helheim bird is actually Hel is because of what she's doing in the realm.
You know, besides just sitting there like a statue.
First, the bird does not seem to be imprisoned in that pillar. She could leave if she wanted to, but chooses not to.
If she chose to, where would she possibly go? Everything looks pretty much the same, and she can't pretty much just fly out of the realm. So, what choice would she have than just sit there? Just has nothing better to do?
The reason she's perched on that pillar is because it offers her a better view of the realms she's in charge of.
What kind of view would that be? There's hardly anything to see. Everything's blocked by icy walls and crap. What could she possibly see at that angle? I mean, isn't there a big door that you go in? Like, all you'll be able to see is that bridge where the dead cross. That's all she sees. So, what purpose, like, what kind of view would she have in that spot? Why? Just, what would she need to see?
And lastly, if you follow where all the souls are walking towards, you will notice that they're heading towards the bird. I believe they're doing this because these souls give life to the Helheim bird, a quality shared by Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. You can see this is true after you kill him, because all the souls he captured during his lifetime are released into the open.
Or they're simply just trying to cross the bridge to Valhalla. I don't see how walking under a pillar, which he just so happens to be sitting on, will be giving her power. I mean, wouldn't eating them work better than that? No, apparently they just go into the pillar and go straight up her ass. That apparently works.
But what do you guys think about the Helheim bird? Is it Herselberg, or is it Loki's daughter Hel? Whatever your thoughts are, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below. I would also like to thank all of my subscribers for the love and support of my content. And that's gonna be it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit like and share it with fellow God of War fans. And as always, go forth in the name of Olympus.
Okay, first of all, I just want to apologize for getting a bit hostile. I did not mean to get that aggressive. It's just things like that just drive me crazy. I'm not meaning to target anybody. I'm not trying to seem rude or insulting them. It's just, you gotta admit, it's just frustrating with how crazy theories are and just like how obviously wrong they are or just how inaccurate they feel. Like Star Wars, for example. People say Snoke was Jar Jar Binks and Finn was the apprentice of Kylo Ren, and that's how he knew his name or his torture chamber. And even though that's pretty much where everyone knows and everyone knows his name, I mean, come on. But anyway, that's not the subject today. So now it's time to reveal the true identity of the Helheim bird. And I gotta say, it's not Hel. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The true identity of the Helheim bird. The identity of the bird is...